Hi everybody, my name is Julie Kerr. I am writer and director of the indie nerdy comedy Geek Loves Punk, and this will be my last video in my series of how 2020 sucked for me. How was your 2020? I do want to say first things first, like I have perspective. I have friends who are nurses, doctors, friends who work in grocery stores. So friends on the front lines as far as coronavirus goes. So those people and just in general are always in my prayers, always. And so, yeah, I just want to start with that. And then just talk about 2020 was a rough year for me. I dealt with a creepy boss. I made a very long series of videos about that. You can find that somewhere. My dad died in November, and it still feels weird, but I've been processing that. And the thing that happened in 2020, this will be my last video in this series of why 2020 was a rough year for me. But I happen to be a lesbian, which is cool. And I live in the San Francisco Bay Area. It's a pretty easy area to be gay in. But one of my really good friends, Carol, she's somewhere on the spectrum. She was in love with a woman for a couple of years. They were together. They broke up, and then she met her who's now her husband. So she's somewhere on the spectrum. She still identifies as somewhere on the spectrum. But my really good friend Carol kind of wants me to tell everybody about something that happened to me so that it doesn't happen again. So I told a bunch of my friends, and now I'm telling you the last reason why 2020 was a rough year for me is I as a lesbian and a proud, I guess I'm a proud lesbian. I'm mainly a proud Julie. There's a lot of reasons why I'm proud to be who I am. And if you're watching this, I hope you're proud to be who you are, as long as you're championing all the good stuff in life. Love, joy, kindness, empathy, the good stuff in life. But anyway, proud Julie, proud gay person, in the month of December, I let a heterosexual woman be really mean to me. And it was not good. It was not good. So my friend Carol, she does not, I have a visual here. We're gonna call her the mean straight girl. Technically she's, a woman. Let me fix that. Yeah, okay. She's a mean straight woman. Yeah, a mean straight woman. I let her be mean to me to the extent where I let her, hustle money out of me. A pretty decent chunk of change. Like, if I said the number, you'd be like, dang. And I just want to make it clear, I'm not what you'd call wealthy. I'm good. Like, I make more than minimum wage. I make 5 figures a year. More on the lower end, but I do make more than minimum wage, and I have rent control. I live a great life. Life is awesome. No complaints. But this mean weird straight woman did hustle money out of me. And I remember my really good friend Carol. She was pretty. It's a long story, but I almost got COVID from the mean weird straight girl. It's bad. It's bad. Okay. But what I want to say is I want to keep her anonymous because, whatevs. As a humanitarian, I wish her all the best. But anyway, in the month of December, 2020 was a rough year for me for a lot of reasons. And in the month of mid-November, I finally got a really good, decent job. For me, And right when I got this really decent, good job as kind of a caregiver for the elderly and / administrative assistants, it was a little bit of both. That was my job. Right when I got this job, that's when my weird straight lady friend decided that she wanted to be like my consultant and help me like organize my apartment, but she was like charging like a crap load of money, like way more an hour than what I make, and it was kind of bonkers and insane. Now the part where I take full like responsibility, it's like I was hypnotized. Like, I sent her the money. Like, I did it. I didn't use Venmo, the app, but I used another app, and I just straight up sent her money, which is completely bonkers and crazy. But what I want to say is, like, 2020 was a rough year for me. I wasn't feeling very good. As far as the mean, weird, straight girl, like, I thought me and her were friends. We kind of were friends for, like, a year. But I would have to say in December, the minute it became about money, we were no longer friends. Like, basically, the minute it turned into her, in my opinion, just hustling money out of me, then we're not friends anymore. Because, again, like, I'm mourning the death of my dad in November, and then I get, like, a semi-decent job. Again, I'm making 5 figures a year on the lower end, but more than minimum wage, and then she wants to be my organizing consultant. Just to let you know, my apartment's not even that big. There's not much to organize. So it didn't make any sense. But I did, you know, like, I take full risk. I let her hustle me, basically, is what I want to say. But the reason why I'm making this video is I just want to wrap up 2020, explain why it sucked for me. Prayers for everybody out there whose 2020 sucked for various reasons. Coronavirus, like, I totally have perspective, totally. And yeah, so what I want to say is I want to give some advice to LGBTQ people, and I guess just advice to people in general. And I do gotta tell you, once it hit me, the level of sinisterness or weirdness or nefariousness or not coolness or what have you, like, it finally hit me that in December, not even December, I broke up with her. I had to break up with her. It's a long story. I tried to break up with her over the phone, and she's like avoiding me, which whatever. So I had to break up with her via Facebook message. Like a teenager, no offense to any teenagers watching this, but I had to break up with her because it was a toxic friendship, if you could even call it that. But okay, and the other thing I wanted to say is, oh right, so I'm gonna give you advice on life in general, and the other thing I was gonna say, oh yeah, the level of fucked upness, excuse my language, because it was just weird. She wants to be a professional organizer, but I don't know, the whole thing's weird. It's weird. It finally hit me, like, she came over like every day for like 2 weeks to help me like organize or whatever, but then her organization process was like really long and really drawn out, which made the process more expensive for me. So I had to like avoid her phone calls because I didn't want to send her no more money. The whole situation's weird. And like, even we hadn't talked for like a month in January, February, and then she was emailing me to send her more money. It was weird. It was totally weird. But the minute, I guess when it hit me, it finally hit me. I thought we were friends, and then it hit me how fucked up the situation was, because everything she did in December, January, February, early March, every action she took was just to get money out of me. Like, every phone call where she's like pretending to be my friend, like, it was just to hustle money out of me, like, all of it. And the level of kind of fucked upness is pretty high, and for sure I let her hustle me, but it's like, I felt so much better when I broke up with her as a friend. And when I broke up with her, I was like, hey, like, I'd love to do this over the phone to give her a chance to redeem herself or something. But I know, I Facebook messaged her. I was like, I really would love to do this over the phone, but you're kind of, you know, dodging my calls or whatever. So I want us to break up. sorry to do this over Facebook message, but I don't want us to be friends anymore. You know, maybe in the far future, when she's evolved or turned into a better person, like maybe in the far, far future, I'm open to us being friends again. Also, if you give me the money back, which she's not going to, because it was all about the money. But, you know, once I was like, you know, I'm open to us being friends again, eventually down the line, you know, if you like, but she doesn't care if we're friends because all she wanted from me was money. I'm not even rich. But I'm just walking money bags to her, which is crazy because I thought we were friends. So here's the deal. Like, I forgive her in a humanitarian sense. However, I'd rather not see her or talk to her ever again. Or if she, like, you know what I mean? People evolve. But it takes them a while to evolve if they evolve. So, but what I want to say is, like, when I broke up with her, I texted my friend Carol, I texted my friend Emilio, I told my roommate, who's really awesome, and we all had a party where, hey, yay, I don't have to be friends with an asshole anymore. So it felt really good to break up with her. It felt amazing to break up with her. Okay, so that's my prelude to the advice I like to give you if you are watching this, the advice. Okay, here's a tip number one. Is if you're LGBTQ, don't hang out with mean straight people. Okay, so like, do you want to say mean straight people? No, don't hang out with them because they're straight, they're the majority, and two, they're mean. So don't hang out with mean straight people. Don't do it. Ideally, don't hang out with mean LGBTQ people. Unfortunately, there's really good books on assholes, like written by people with PhDs. There's a great book called No Assholes, written by a guy with a PhD, and he breaks down the science of why you should not hang out with assholes. This is another great book that I made a video about, is about narcissism by Dr. Romani. It's also a book, she has a PhD, she's a really smart woman, explaining why you shouldn't hang out with narcissists. So, narcissist is a gnarly disorder, and don't hang out with those people. Don't do it. Now, unfortunately, psychologists have said, you know, I'm just a filmmaker, but there's narcissists and assholes in every community, including, unfortunately, the LGBTQ community. But if you're LGBTQ, don't hang out with assholes, don't hang out with narcissists, gay ones or straight ones. At least with gay people, you're all equal as far as your status in life. But man, it's just really gnarly when, in my opinion, when straight people are mean to gay people. Because there's history there. The history is so depressing and sad if you ever decide to learn about LGBTQ history. It's sad. So sad. And I'm so happy I live in the San Francisco Bay Area. But, and I'm very grateful to my LGBTQ forefathers and what have you, foremothers and forefathers and what have you, for what they fought for, so that I could, I don't know, do my thing now in 2021. But, yeah, so, but yeah, no mean straight people. Don't hang out with mean straight people. And for that matter, don't hang out with, don't hang out with, mean gay people either, or bisexual, all the letters. Hang out with people who are kind and loving and empathetic. And those people exist. There's so many good people in the world. This weekend I went socially distanced kayaking with queer women, lesbian, bisexual. We were socially distanced and totally safe, but it was so cool. And these women, I met 2 new friends. Actually, I met a couple of new friends. But these women were gracious and kind and wonderful people, and none of them tried to hustle money out of me. So I was like, these people are great. So hang out with, there's so many good people in the world, I promise. So, and I'm still feeling a little wounded from the mean, weird, straight girl. But I gotta tell you, I'm just gonna not hang out with mean, mean, weird, straight girls, women. Bad idea. And, you know, just, I'm gonna, like, not hang out with mean people in general. Mean LGBTQ people, they're not great either. But understanding, like, there are kind, interesting, awesome, amazing, people in the LGBTQ community, and hang out with those people safely through Zoom, but safely, or through kayaking where you're far apart. Literally you're in a boat and they're in boats and you're far apart. Okay, so don't hang out with mean straight people, hang out with awesome LGBTQ people, or, you know, you can have some awesome straight friends too, but make sure they're awesome and not mean and horrible. Okay, so my second tip for you is, one of my favorite songs is Kendrick Lamar's I Love Myself. So yeah, tip number 2, love yourself. Love yourself. You deserve the best. So, mean, weird, straight girl, she kind of had this diva vibe to her a little bit, where she's like, oh, you know, her vibe was you're lucky to be spending time with me and la la la. And that's not true. I'm so much happier not being around her. It's the greatest thing ever. I feel like I'm in The Sound of Music and I'm about to sing in the hills, and the hills are alive with the sound of music, because I broke up with an asshole as far as a friendship, and it's the greatest feeling ever. So yes, tip number 2 is love yourself, value yourself. You deserve the utmost respect, the utmost love. Love yourself first. And unfortunately, I was in such a down and out place in December when I let the mean girl be mean to me. I was not in a good place, and I had kind of isolated myself. I was hanging out with her like a lot, and I wasn't reaching out. Like, I have friends and family who are amazing. Oh, I do want to say, when my dad died, like, some of my relatives were being kind of mean, but it's whatever. It brought up all this family stuff, but whatever. But I guess my point is just love yourself. Be good to yourself. Like, anyway, so I wasn't in a great place in December, which left me vulnerable to a mean person, the mean, weird, straight girl. And so what you gotta do when life kicks you sometimes, and life is gonna kick you sometimes, you gotta keep loving yourself and being kind to yourself. Say kind things to yourself in your head. It might be cheesy, but when you look in the mirror, say kind things to yourself when you look in the mirror. There's science, like brain science, that proves that you can teach your brain how to release like the happy chemicals in your brain, which makes you feel good. And part of that is just saying nice things to yourself. It's why I love that song by Kendrick Lamar, I Love Myself. Just singing that song, listening to it makes me feel great. And it's a great song. Love yourself. Be good to yourself. You deserve the utmost respect. LGBTQ people watching this, and straight people watching this, y'all are cool too. And you deserve the utmost respect and love and all that stuff. So love yourself. Okay, my third tip on, I guess, how to not let straight people be mean to you. I don't know. I don't know what I'm calling this video yet. But my last tip is visualize an awesome life. Now, I was just watching a really cool video today by a dude with like, he's a doctor. He has like an MD. Great, cool dude. And he said that like, when you tell your brain, like visualize an awesome life, when you tell your brain, hey, I want to have this amazing life, your brain naturally starts helping you have an amazing life. It's a self-fulfilled prophecy, like in a good way. So if you tell your brain, I want to surround myself with really amazing people, your brain starts naturally helping you find those really amazing people. If you tell your brain, I want to feel good in my job, your brain starts helping you feel good at your job, even if maybe your job's not that great, right? Or whatever, but there's always things you can be grateful about at your job, even if it's not like your dream job. So, and just these days having a job is such a blessing. during the global pandemic. So, and if you're unemployed, you're in my prayers. Nothing but empathy. That sucks. I was unemployed for a lot of 2020. And it's tough. It's tough. So, I did another video on how to look for jobs, and it's my most popular video. It's got 3,100 views. It caught the algorithm, so I'll link to that somewhere here as well. But yeah, so if you visualize your life being awesome, so for me, you know, a lot of my dude friends, my straight guy friends, bi guy friends, awkward, the way I just said that was awkward. Okay, and then gay guy friends. As far as the mean straight girl, when I told them my story, they were like, there, Julie, like, it's okay, you're good. And then a lot of my lady friends are pretty feisty, so a couple of my, including my roommate who's awesome, a couple of my lady friends were more like, Julie, what the fuck? They were mad at me for letting this lady be mean to me. That's valid. But also one of my really good friends, Sharon, I am known, I guess, as soft butch or something as far as my label in the gay community, I guess. And she's like, my friend Sharon is super gay and she would be called a femme. But she was going easy on me. I told her the whole story of the mean straight girl. And she was like, you know, there, Julie, there. And the other thing she said is like, you know, I think part of it was because this mean straight girl was coming over to the apartment. It wasn't super COVID safe. I mean, she was in my bubble, I would have to say. My bubble was pretty small, so she was in my social bubble, but still. But she came over every day for like 2 weeks, you know. But my friend Sharon, who's super sweet, she was just like, Julie, you know, I think what was happening with the mean straight girl, she's like, you know, she's not awesome, and I'm glad you broke up with her as a friend, but she also said, you know, I feel like the mean straight girl was filling a void, for sure. So for 2 weeks, and I was like, Sharon, you're a genius, epiphany. When she came over for 2 weeks, it felt like I had a girlfriend. Now, I told Sharon, it felt like I had a really horrible, terrible, expensive girlfriend. Gotta tell you, my roommate wasn't feeling her. That's what I'll say. My roommate was like, why is she over here all the time? She's not your girlfriend. What's happening? She wasn't really a big fan of her being here all the time, which is totally legit. My roommate's awesome. But my roommate was being nice about it. She's like, how do I say this? I just moved in. Right, my roommate just moved in when the mean straight girl started being like super mean. Okay, and coming over all the time to organize whatever. Okay, so my friend Sharon, she's like, you know, I think she was feeling a void, and I was like, that's it. I was single, I had a crappy year, she was being kind of nice to me, but not really, it was all fake for money, and then, but she was feeling a void, like it felt like I had a girlfriend for 2 weeks. A horrible, horrible, horrible girlfriend. Even if this mean straight girl was gay or bisexual, she'd be a terrible, terrible girlfriend. Oh my gosh, no. I'm so over her. It's great. Okay, but anyway, yeah, she'd be the worst girlfriend ever. I was like, yeah, she was filling a void. And so Sharon's like, maybe start going on the dating apps, but safely via Zoom because, you know, COVID-19 for sure. I got my first vaccine shot, so I get my second one in a couple of weeks. But still, I should be cautious, you know. But anyway, so once Sharon said that, it made me, she's like, don't be too hard on yourself. And she said, as far as the money you spent, like, think about how much money people spend, like, dating. She's like, you know, makeup and outfits and la la la. So she's like, if you think of it that way, like, it's, you know, it happens, and don't be too hard on yourself, and, you know, but also, like, don't talk to her. That's what my friend Sharon said. Great advice. It was awesome advice. It was awesome. So, that's my advice. Yes, you know, I guess to the LGBTQ community and any straight people watching this, y'all are cool too. Don't hang out with mean people, mean straight people, mean LGBTQ people. Don't hang out with mean people. No assholes, no narcissists, just kind, loving, empathetic people. These people do exist, I promise. Love yourself. Be good to yourself. Say kind things to yourself in the mirror. Don't care if it's cheesy. It works. Brain doctors have said it works. You can train your brain to feel good, to feel joy, to enjoy your life, no matter how much trauma you've dealt with. I grew up an abusive home. I dealt with trauma. Yeah, and I'm doing pretty good, pretty okay. You know what I mean? I'm bouncing back from the mean, weird straight lady. So you can do this. You can live a joyful, awesome life no matter what you've been through. And we've all been through a lot. Okay, my third tip, visualize an awesome life. Because you can have an awesome life, whatever awesome life you want, right? So for me, yeah, like just for me, as a lesbian, I visualize a life full of amazing, awesome people, amazing, awesome women. Yeah, all of this stuff. So those are my tips. And I think this video will be called Don't Let Straight People Be Mean to You, and surround yourself with kind, amazing, awesome people. Okay, I am Julie Kerr, writer and director of the indie nerdy comedy Geek Loves Punk. If you want to know more about me, you can go to my website and check out all the stuff. And this is my last video on why 2020 sucked. And it sucked. And for everyone out there whose 2020 sucked, I lost my dad. If you lost somebody, whatever it is, you're in my heart, you're in my thoughts, you're in my prayers. And here's to 2021. It's April 2021, and I'm excited on a creative standpoint that I finally am going to move on to new creative projects. I have officially processed 2020, and it wasn't all bad. I got a couch in 2020. That was cool. I haven't owned a couch. This is my first couch, owning a couch ever. I got it for $30. Anyway, whatever. So, hey, it wasn't all bad in 2020, but I'm finally done. This is my last video on why 2020 was terrible. And there were some good times too, but it was a tough year. Now I'm ready for 2021. Here's to 2021, and I wish you all the best. Bye.